God closed it, you felt it close, and then it came back. Same battle, same timing, same pain. You have been asking why God keeps allowing it to return. Wrong question. Why do you keep letting it back in? This is not a video about an enemy. It is about a door, your door. Some attacks arrive with violence. Yours arrived with familiarity, and familiarity has never needed to break in. It just needs to be let in. Again, today you find out where the door is. 4 revelations. Each one builds on the last. By the 4th, you will not just understand why the battle returns. You will understand that you were never as powerless as the battle made you feel. Stay through all 4. Revelation 1. The fruit. What actually came back. You think the same battle returned. Look closer. It is not the same battle. It is the same room with new furniture. The argument has a different subject. The fear has a different face. The financial collapse comes from a different direction, but the result is identical. That is the first thing most people miss. A battle that genuinely repeats looks the same. A battle that genuinely returns looks different and lands the same, which means it was never about the battle at all. It was about the ground it kept landing on. In Genesis 26, Isaac inherited a closed war, his father's conflict over wells, settled, finished, buried with Abraham. Isaac moved into the same region. Within 1 chapter, the same wells were contested again. Different shepherds, same outcome. The war did not return. Isaac returned to the field it was buried in. Revelation 2. The timing. Why now, specifically? Here is what should disturb you. It never comes back randomly. It comes back inside a window, and the window opens the moment you restore something that has no business being restored yet. A conversation reopened too soon. A relationship resumed at full depth before it earned the right to. An access point handed back simply because enough time had passed and guilt mistook itself for grace. The battle is not patient, it is attentive. It is waiting for the exact moment the door is unguarded, and that moment is always self-inflicted, never imposed. It was not an enemy who taunted me, David wrote in Psalm 55. It was you, my companion, my close friend. The wall held against every army that came for David. It opened for the one person who already had the keys. Everything so far has pointed at one thing. The battle never needed your weakness. It needed your access. And access is not taken. Access is given, quietly, lovingly, without ceremony. Satan has never needed a key to enter what trust already left unlocked. Revelation 3. The strategy. Why it feels like faith when it is not. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Restoring access does not feel like a mistake when you do it. It feels like forgiveness. It feels like maturity. It feels like the version of yourself you are proud of. That is the strategy. Not every open door was opened by rebellion. Some were opened by love. You were not careless. You were generous at the wrong moment. And generosity, misplaced, is just access wearing a halo. Mark 6 records the only recorded limitation on Jesus' ministry, not unbelief from strangers. Unbelief from people who had known him too long to be surprised by him. He could do no mighty work there, would not, could not. The room was too familiar to hold what he had become. If this is naming something, type "I see the door" in the comments. Subscribe if this channel has been giving you language you did not have before. The 4th revelation is where this ends. Stay. Revelation 4. The access point. And who holds it? Everything you just heard could make you feel like a victim of your own kindness. That is not the point of this video. Here is the point. A door on your side of the wall closes from the inside, which means it was never under siege. It was simply open. Nehemiah returned to Jerusalem to find everything he had closed, reopened in his absence. He did not pray about it. He threw the furniture into the street with his own hands. Some battles end on your knees. This one ends on your feet. Identify the door. Name the exact relationship, the exact room, the exact pattern. Separate forgiveness from access. One is owed to everyone. The other is earned by evidence. Hold the next closure in private until it is rooted, not fresh. Then pray this: Father, I take responsibility for the doors I reopened. I forgive completely. I restore access slowly. I declare this door closed, not by you alone, but by me, in you, now. The battle was never undefeated. It was simply readmitted by someone who loved too quickly and guarded too late. That is not weakness. That is the shape of every heart God is still finishing. You know where the door is now. Close it. Here's what you do if you notice any of these. Revelation 1. Write down the last 3 times a battle God closed came back. Beside each one, write what you returned to in the days immediately following the closure. The environment, the relationship, the conversation, What you find in that exercise will show you the door more clearly than any amount of general spiritual warfare prayer ever has. Revelation 2. Identify one relationship where you have been treating forgiveness and restoration of access as the same decision. Make the forgiveness complete and unconditional, then make the access decision separately, based not on your willingness to forgive, but on whether the conditions that produce the battle have genuinely changed in that relationship. Revelation 3. Ask God to show you one familiar environment that feels like home and functions like a reset button for the battle, not to abandon it permanently, to approach it differently, with the awareness of what it consistently produces rather than the comfort of what it consistently feels like. Revelation 4. Pray the declaration from this revelation today, specifically with the name of the pattern, the door, and the decision attached. General declarations produce general results. A declaration made over a specifically named door produces a specifically closed one. The most exhausting part of a recurring battle is not the fighting, it is the wondering. Why am I still here? What am I doing wrong? Is the promise still real? Because the most isolating part of a recurring battle is believing you are the only one still in it. You are not. Every section of this video has a specific prayer strategy built around it. The free guide in the description maps all 4 doors with the prayers attached to each. Use it before the next closure, not after the next reopening. Type, "I see the door," in the comments. Find the person beneath you who typed the same thing. Leave them one sentence. Because someone watching this right now has watched person after person receive while they kept showing up, kept praying, kept believing. God has not forgotten them, and the breakthrough coming for them was never going to look like the ones they watched arrive for everyone else. The most disorienting part of this is realizing it was never the enemy's strength. It was your access, and access, unlike an enemy, can simply stop being given. The key was always yours. Subscribe, because this channel exists to give language to the spiritual mysteries your life has been living inside, not just the attacks, the waiting, the wondering, the specific pain of going last, the doors closing, right now.